Very special from Kevin De Bruyne, as was Sean Wright-Phillips' celebration there. Manchester City, as you can see, 13 points clear. In the last 12 league games, there has been an 18-point swing in favour of Manchester City over today's opponents, Chelsea. Special strike from a special player who is waiting to talk to us live at the Etihad, Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin, well done. And when we spoke yesterday, you said you expected a difficult game. Is that what you got?
Yeah, I think so. I think the game went like we expected. Chelsea very good defensively, very tight, compact, and it's very difficult to create a lot of opportunities. But I think we were very patient. We played the game that we needed to play, and then obviously scoring that one goal that makes the difference today was enough. You
mentioned the word patience there. You've had plenty of practice in that scenario. Is that difficult to do sometimes when you've got so much of the ball like you had?
Yeah, sometimes it is, but I think we're doing better year by year. I think the second half was sometimes a little bit too open, and then it makes it really difficult sometimes to control the game. But I think we didn't give too much away, maybe a little bit in the beginning, but the team did very well in that aspect.
Now, when we spoke yesterday, I mentioned to you about your hero growing up, Michael Owen, sitting with me in the studio every week. He was out of his seat today. Did you see any Michael Owen videos of goals like that when you were growing up?
Well, obviously the one that I always have in my head is the one from England against Argentina, but I'm not as quick to go past the people, so I just shoot from the 16.
Michael, you better chip in here, because it's a big moment for Kevin.
It is. I feel very honoured, Kevin. Thanks very much. Just going on to your goal today, Kevin, I was interested to see Conte was almost going to bring you down, probably going to take a yellow card. But at what point did you think, I've got to keep my feet? At what point did you think there's a goal, an opportunity here, let's say, to score?
Well, the moment that I'm going away from Conte, I'm trying to look where the spaces are. But I saw the defenders backing off, and then when I was almost at the 16, I saw a little gap between the two defenders. So I tried to bend around where the keeper can't really see it, and it worked perfectly.
And what's that feeling like in a tight, huge game like this to produce something like that when it hits the back of the net?
Yeah, it's a significant moment for us. I think it keeps our run going, and the big games is very important to get the most points as possible. And I think we've done that very well this year. And just keep going, work hard, and try to win the games.
Hey, Kevin, Sean Wright-Phillips there. Just a quick one. How surprised was you from the lack of aggression from Chelsea? Because we all thought they would be more aggressive in the high press.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it yesterday because they've been pressing a little bit different lately, where one of the wing-backs was going into like a 4-4-2. But I think the first half they didn't really do that, but I think they did try to do it in the second half, and I think that's why there were some more spaces in between the lines. But yeah, obviously I don't know what their tactic was before the game, but they play the system that they always play, what they are very good at. So in that aspect, there's nothing different.
And just finally, Kevin, you mentioned the gap yesterday when we had that conversation. It's got even bigger over Chelsea now. This momentum, 12 league games in a row. You're at the time of the year where generally you just keep on winning.
Well, let's hope we do the same next week. I know at the moment we get a lot of praise as individuals, as a team, but we need to keep going. The more points we can take, the quicker, the more tougher it becomes for the opponent. But it's only January. Work hard, keep your head down, and then good things maybe will come.
Very well played. Brilliant goal. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Kevin De Bruyne talking to his hero, Michael Owen. Breaking news away from the Manchester City-Chelsea game, and it's disappointing news. Tottenham-Arsenal, the North London derby, has just been postponed. We saw, of course, yesterday that Arsenal requested to the Premier League because of the lack of players available, that game be postponed. So there won't be a North London derby tomorrow. That will have to be rearranged for later in the season. Right, let's get back to the events at the Etihad. Great to talk live to the Manchester City captain there. We'll have another look at his goal in a moment. But at 0-0, the one opportunity in front of goal for Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku. What was your reading of this, Michael?
So early in the second half as well, wasn't it, Steve? I mean, it was a Perfect run, perfect ball. I actually thought when he's running through, he's quite far out. I thought he was going to take a touch, but the goalkeeper makes his mind up for him. He actually runs out, stops then on the edge of the box. You always know that the goalkeeper's, or most of the time, not going to come out the box because then he's going to risk a handball. So he runs as far as he can towards the box. I thought he did everything right. I thought he had two options: open his body out and curl it into the far corner like he tried, or give him the eyes and whip it into the near post. But Ederson made a fantastic save. I'd probably side with saying it was a very good save as opposed to a big miss.
OK, that's interesting from a striker's point of view. Well, events at one end of the field for City all the time. He's had one save to make in the entire game, Ederson, which is difficult for a goalkeeper, and he saved City again.
And that's where I give a lot more of my credit to him, not only just how good he is with his feet and when he is called to action, but it's how much he has to concentrate without having to do pretty much hardly anything for the 90 minutes. They've played against Chelsea, who are in, the top 3 Premier League. You expect him to do more work and have more things to do, but the fact he hasn't, and then when he is called upon, he has the same concentration level as if he was consistently busy through the whole game. And Mo will tell you, even some of the bigger players, outfield players, have that lapped in concentration, whereas I feel like he very rarely has that problem.
83 clean sheets in 166 Premier League games for Manchester City. Chelsea couldn't beat him today. They have been beaten again. And here are the thoughts of their manager, Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas, could you give us your take on that disappointing result?
Yeah, the result, yes, but this can happen if you play at City. Result like this can happen. I think we deserved a draw. I think we defended very, very well. Did not allow big chances. One in the first half from a big mistake from us. Okay, but the goal was more or less from. We were not under so much pressure that it was clear that they will score at one point. In the opposite, we had then chances. So performance-wise, this is okay, given the fact that we had to change our back 3 again. Like defensive-wise, for the commitment, I'm absolutely okay with that performance. I think we deserve to have a draw. A draw would be a fair result. We don't have it. We have won games like this against City, and that feels very different. But that's the way it is.
No shots in the first half by Chelsea. It doesn't happen very often. We could see you being frustrated.
Yes, because we had, I think we had 8 or 9 offensive transition, and we had 0 touches in the box. That was a big problem today, offensive-wise. The performance of the front players, that was simply a lack of precision, a lack of timing, and a lack of composure. That you cannot think that you get a lot of half chances, deliveries, and on a level like this, we lost too many balls too easy, and that's why we have a number like this. Of course, that was a big problem in our game today.
And you've got Romelu Lukaku up front. Was he getting the service? It didn't seem that way.
Sometimes he needs to do the service. I think he's included in this. He had many ball losses without any pressure, in many ball losses in very promising circumstances. He had a huge chance, so he's included in this. Of course, we want to serve him, but he's part of the team, and the performance up front, like especially in first half, was we can do much better, and we need to do much better because we had a lot of transition chances in first half already.
Yeah, he was more aggressive in the second half, but of course that opens the game up a little bit as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it opens the game up a little bit, of course, and you need to sometimes, when in the context of our situation, you need to wait for the moments, you need to wait for the minutes when you feel it, when you're confident, when you have the legs for it, and when you win, then when you step up. But all the time when we won the challenges, stepped into the challenges, won them, we were strong and dangerous in counterattacks. We were more aggressive, more compact up high the pitch. That's why I think like we had good moments. We had moments where we suffered, but not like I felt us stronger than in the first leg over the 90 minutes. But first half we could do much more and create more chances with better timing and better passing, better ball control.
Is the title done? Is it gone now?
It's not my question to answer. We will never give up, but I mean, if City keeps on winning every game, nobody can catch them.
Thank you, Thomas.
He is a fascinating listen, win, lose or draw. Chelsea, 7 touches in the Manchester City penalty area today. That is their lowest in a Premier League game for 7 years. Ironically, that was also against City. What did you make about, he was talking about there about Lukaku, the creating of chances and the service that he has to make service for himself as well?
I felt it was quite damning towards Lukaku, personally. I thought I don't think he's a type to come out here on the television and do an interview and have not said it to his own team. So I think he would have said that at half-time, full-time to his attacking players in particular. He sounded very disappointed with those players.
So from a striker, has he got a point?
Yeah, I think his hold-up play, we showed it at half-time. It's nice that sort of we're watching the game and showing things that we think are going wrong, and then the manager comes out afterwards and actually says, this was a big problem of ours, and it was, and that's why we showed it at half-time, because his hold-up play has always been questionable. We mentioned it before the game. It's always been questionable. He's got better at it, but for the size of him, the presence he's got a good touch. He's a very good footballer. He should be better with his hold-up play. He's actually looking at his appearance. He's roles reverse of what you're going to think. He actually scores loads more goals than you think, and he's more lethal than you would think. But the things that should come natural and easy to him, he really struggles with, and we saw that in the first half. He's had a lot of opportunity to build attacks for the team, lost it, and then of course he has his big chance in the second half and misses it. Now you go to the Etihad, and you mentioned it was 6 years ago since a team had less, 7 years ago. That's what happens there. So when you get only 1, 2, 3 chances, 3, 4 balls that come into your feet... We talked about this before
the game, didn't we?
They're so important that you're absolutely on it. And he had 3, 4, 5 moments today where he could have influenced the game and nothing went right. And that's a problem for them.
I honestly have to agree with Mo. The only thing I might say a little bit different is sometimes when he did finally control that ball up there, he never really had an option like a midfielder to drop it to, or one of the attackers would come in front. So like when I was with Mourinho under Chelsea, when the ball went up to Didier, we always knew that one winger comes in front, the other one makes the run in behind. Whereas I feel like the way they play now, one either stays wide or they both run in behind. And sometimes the gap for Kovacic and Conte is too far to get to. So for him to hold it up, there was 2 where he tried to do 2 cute flicks. I knew what he was trying to do, but they wasn't executed. But maybe if there's somebody in front of him, he can just set it and spin. And then it goes back to where then he is creating a chance for himself because he's giving the ball a nice ball to obviously get the return in behind.
Interesting.